In today's video, I want to talk about the real cost of a negative digital culture. So first of all, digital culture is all about how digital solutions are used within an organisation, within the culture of the business. Most businesses will use some form of digital solution, such as email, for example, is a form of digital solution. So the majority of businesses will have some form of digital culture, the way in which emails are used within the business. But then it also includes things like online meetings. It includes other software solutions that are used within the business. It includes logging in out of hours. It includes smartphone use within the business. There is so much that encapsulates a digital culture. Now, a negative digital culture looks like one where people are plugged in all the time and it is negatively impacting their well-being, but also productivity and performance in their job role and therefore business output. I'm not going to go into lots of detail on what that looks like. I do have a freebie on the impact of a negative digital culture. I will pop the link for that in the description. But what is the true cost then if you do have a negative digital culture? What is that actually costing you as an organisation? So the first thing to consider is a negative digital culture can lead to increase in absenteeism. So the more our culture is negative, the more it is impacting our well-being, the more it's leading to overwhelm, the more it's leading to stress, the more it's leading to burnout, and so the more it leads to absenteeism. Now, absenteeism is not cheap for a business. In fact, it's been worked out by the CIPD that the average cost per employee per year of absenteeism is £554. So if you have 100 employees, your absenteeism cost is £5,540. And obviously you can just scale up or down depending on how many employees you have within the business. So absenteeism absolutely is not free. It is something that can be really costly for a business, and therefore, of course, we need to address why people are absent, why they are not able to attend the workplace or log in from home, why they're not able to work that day. And looking at digital culture is one way in which we can help to reduce absenteeism. The next thing to consider in terms of the cost of a negative digital culture is training and development costs. Now, training and development are hugely important in businesses, without a doubt. I would not be telling any business to completely cut out training and development. However, many businesses are stuck in a rut of trying to find the perfect digital solution, and so they keep implementing new pieces of software all the time, and then of course employees need training up in that particular piece of software. So in terms of training costs, it can get very, very expensive, particularly when the software is not the right solution. So making sure that you're finding the right solutions in the first place is super important. And then we have the cost of turnover. I have had so many conversations with people when I talk about the fact I do digital wellbeing and digital culture. So many conversations with people who've left their role because they were being encouraged to log in out of hours, because they were overworked, and because there was that expectation of always being on, and therefore they left the business. Now, of course, when people leave the business, that leaves a recruitment need. And it's been suggested that the average recruitment cost in the UK is £3,000 per employee. Of course, that will go up or go down depending on the job role and the rate of pay and the method of recruitment and everything like that. But an average of £3,000, and I'm sure many of the job roles that you recruit for in your business would be much, much higher in recruitment costs than that. So again, if people are leaving because the digital culture is so negative, we've then got the cost of recruitment as well, plus the training and development of that new employee, plus the embedding in and into the culture, plus the fact that they might then also leave as well. So we are stuck in this kind of endless cycle of people in and out, which is hugely, hugely costly for an organisation. And of course, there are going to be other costs that pop up for different businesses depending on their digital culture, depending on what the business does and their industry. There are going to be other costs that appear as well that will be as a result of a negative digital culture. I would say the cost of productivity loss would be a huge one, because when we are plugged in all the time, our focus and attention goes down, our productivity goes down, and therefore we are less productive in our role. So if we think about that in terms of how many hours a day are we actually working when we're working, how productive are we actually, and then you can work that out based on people's salaries and the cost of that as well. There is a huge cost to all of this. And often when I talk to businesses about the fact that I do workshops in improving digital culture, it's kind of sometimes scoffed off as like, well, we don't have budget for things like that. But actually, it's not something that should be budgeted. It is an investment to help reduce costs over time. And it's so important to see it that way. The more we improve our digital culture, the lower our costs will be, because we'll have increased output, increased performance and productivity, better well-being, therefore lower absenteeism, lower turnover. We won't have to recruit as much. We won't have to keep doing training and development on new digital solutions. And our company will just be a much nicer place to work for and an employer of choice. So I hope that's been insightful. I will also pop a link below in the description for my online course, which is all about creating a positive digital culture. And I'll pop a link as well to the workshops I do within organisations. And of course, I'd love for you to subscribe too. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel, where I share lots and lots of inspiration around improving your digital culture and improving your digital well-being. Take care.